Are we ready to start? All right, welcome to the Berea Tourism Commission meeting for Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, being held at 304 Chestnut Street. I'd like to welcome everybody and call the meeting to order. Start for a roll call. Christy Napier.
Here.
Aaron Crawford.
Here.
Laura Carpenter.
Here.
Becky Brown.
Here.
My name's Bill West, and I'm here, and I think that's all the members are here. Rick Thomas is absent. I'd like to look at the approval of the agenda. Does anybody make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any opposed? The approval of the agenda passes unanimously. And let's look at the approval for the minutes of August 9th, 2023. I think they've included in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for August 9th.
I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second. Any opposed? The minutes of August 9th, 2023 are approved as written. And now we'll get a total update from the project manager, Brian Reed. That's fine. Can the mic pick him up for the recording? You might need to move there, Brian, for you're on the recording. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so last week on Friday, I think that was the 8th, we got all the paperwork in line to get started. Contractor went ahead and started mobilizing, brought a lift in. Over the weekend, did some pressure washing, and they're beginning the exterior painting. Contractor hopes to start doing some interior demolition work in the next couple days.
Okay. Sounds like we're off to a good start.
So far, any
So
questions
far.
about it, Bill, or anybody?
I don't have any. Anybody else have any questions? Or? Well, we thank you for the update. We appreciate being kept updated. Thank you, Brian. Does anybody here would like to make any public comments? Okay, there's no public comments. Donna, would you like to do the director's report? Oh, you'd? Okay, we do have. Sorry, I didn't see you. I gotta read the little. All right, the public's given an opportunity to speak at the Berea Tourism Commission during the public comment portion of the meeting. Any public comments exceeding 3 minutes should be scheduled as a presentation through the Berea Tourism Commission office and will be placed on the agenda. When recognized by BTC Chair, please go to the podium, state your name for the record. Comments should be business oriented. We ask no inappropriate language or naming of people individually during your comments. Thank you. Now, ma'am, sorry about that.
I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Abby Crow, and I'm the new Director of Sales and Marketing at Boone Tavern. I have 20 years of sales and operational experience, specifically in hospitality and healthcare. I am thrilled to be in Berea. I am a Madison County native. My husband and family, we live in Richmond, and I am just happy to be part of the community. So, thank you.
Well, welcome to the community. Thank you for coming by. Now we'll move to the director's report by Donna Angel.
First thing on our list today will be to cover our marketing, where we are going into the fall with Right Place Media, our advertising firm. September, October, November are great months for Berea. That's our busiest season, so we put a lot of marketing and ads into that time frame. Some of is already out, but what we have coming forward will be 15 different YouTube videos that are a minute and a half long, featuring crafts and outdoors. We have 30 digital ads that will be running between September and November, and we have 3 magazine ads that will be out, some a third page, some a half page ads, so good sizes, with long weekends, Ace Magazine, and Sophisticated Living. Sophisticated Living is a new one for us, and we all really in our last planning session decided we wanted to try that, so we'll see how well, and Danny's going to track that and monitor the responses on that. So we keep putting in new things and trying new ads, and we get good responses from everything we're doing out there, so the marketing and advertising is a wonderful piece for our community. Some of the things that we have been recognized recently for in Berea. Berea was recently listed by the World Atlas Group as one of the top 11 prettiest little cities to visit in Berea. And thank you, Christy Napier, for sending that to me that night. It was great. I got excited about Pikeville being in there, so I forgot to look about anybody else. And Christy says, no, Berea's in there too. So we were excited about that piece. And there's never a month that we're not written about or recognized by some group as being a great, charming little town, or a great southern hospitality town, a charming town recently, wasn't it, Nancy, that we were recognized for? So we appreciate all of the comments and the writers and the influence bloggers, everything in the world, that people choose to write about us in positive comments without paid advertisements. So that means a lot when you reach that category. Recently, we were also written about through a contact of mine in our business development sector of American Management Power Company, our utilities company, who wrote a terrific article on the arts and crafts capital of Kentucky being Berea, and other business insights that really have grown here in our community with our industry and our small businesses on top of our artists and craft makers as well. So they're out of Ohio, so it doesn't hurt to be recognized in all these additional states as Berea in its great growth. It is not a growth pattern in any way that hurts our infrastructure or any other manner that we have, because we do have a great pace in everything that we do, and it just adds one more nice piece to Berea every time we add a new business, whether it's a small corporate chain or it's a unique art and craft business or new unique restaurants. So we're delighted to have our new You Gotta Love coffee shop up and going. I haven't gotten in there yet because it's always a jam parking lot, but we're thrilled, Christy, to have Sandy and Bill joining us, and they've done wonderful. I've seen the pictures inside and got to tour it, so I know recently how much work they've done on that facility. So You Gotta Love coffee is great. The other thing that I want to talk about is we have had a tremendous amount of wonderful TV channel stations that have been in Berea this past month, and they're reading, they're recognizing strengths that Berea has to offer, not just tourism, but our entire city, our outdoor adventure piece, as well as the artists and craft makers that continue to work here and grow from that. But they also are so interested in how we merge all of that together, and how the arts and craft business is a small business entrepreneur as well as a small restaurant is. So we've recently had a Channel 27 that was here to do a piece on our economic impact of our small businesses that we have here. Fox 56 was down to talk about the same thing, the economic drive that we have here and the population that we are slowly increasing on that as well. And the Richmond Register also wrote a great article on with Ethan and the motor coach business that we have been able to recruit here in Berea. I think we're on target to kind of where we wanted to be. I think Ethan set us a pretty hefty goal, but he's worked with it, and so has everyone else in the tourism staff department worked toward bringing more motor coaches, but our own day trip buses that are coming from London or other cities here as well, Louisville and Lexington. So that piece of our business is really intriguing a lot of the writers out there as well as our TV host. So they're very excited about all the things that we have. I'm not going to spoil Ethan's big secret, but he's going to share with us some really exciting news for the last week in September that Berea is really excited to host, and Liz has some to share as well on that piece. So the coach business not only brings business to us, but it also brings hotels, overnight stays. The lodging is a huge piece in our city, whether it be hotels, campgrounds, or it be our Airbnbs. So we want to accommodate all pieces that are here to have a business and help support them in many ways. The restaurants are greatly affected every time we bring in a coach bus of 55 people. Can't feed them at the same place all the time, so we've been able to use the new businesses that are slowly opening in Old Town all the way around town, and working more with an itinerary through the college as well to help set a piece there. So I can't say enough about how great the entire tourism staff has been incorporating the outside the pieces that really make our town a town. And we can talk all we want to about Christy's got a flower shop, but if Christy isn't sharing her business with other people in town, then Christy isn't going to grow her business. If the communication and the collaborativeness is not there, then we can't really have a good vibe and a good growth in our community. So tourism has worked really extremely hard to put that piece of the puzzle together. And I think it is wonderful to sit back and look at the rewards that we've gotten from that, and to highlight that it takes each individual person to really step up to bat and take that on. We love working with Honeysuckle and Aaron. We're great to work with Boone Tavern, all of the local restaurants, the quite unique restaurants that we have here. Everyone has been super accommodating when we call on the spur of the moment to say, hey, we have a bus coming in this afternoon and we need to feed 25, 50 people. Nobody turns us away. So in a small town like that, it's been a great accomplishment to have the town come together and work with us. So in general, our town is absolutely wonderful and accommodating our needs as we go along. The next channel, TV channel, is WLEX 18. We are, of course, approaching our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday Spoon Bread Festival, and we're excited to have that here again this year, as always. But Channel 18, we'll be doing a live weather forecast on the grounds in front of the Folk Center Friday night, probably around 5 to 7:30 overall time. They'll be all over the grounds, over at the Balloon Glow, and floating around. Bill Meck and I think Megan is the other co-anchor that's coming with him. But that's a first time for us, and we're excited to have them stay that long and do a live weather forecast right here with us. So that's a great, great piece, and we know the festival team has worked vigorously through many challenges. As we all know, the festivals are not easy to put on, and it takes a lot of patience and stamina to roll out our festivals. So we wish them nothing but the best, and we're excited to be a part of that and to sponsor a piece of it, as many other people in our town have as well. And we bring in tourism, or not tourism, but the Spoon Bread draws in terrific tourists and visitors from all sorts of counties around us that will hit our festival out of that 3-day weekend, which is amazing that people still recognize a piece of something being history to a city. So the tourists do roll in here. They stay overnight. I think, Christy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Balloon Glow men stay here, men and women stay here overnight. So we get to host them and provide dinners for them and so forth. So it'll be a great festival this weekend. We're excited to have all of that going on. So everybody that can come scoop spoon bread, come scoop spoon bread with us. I still need one more person, trying to get to 6 on Saturday morning from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So just come find me at the spoon bread tent, and we'll have 6 of us working there. So we're excited. We got some tourism staff. So we're excited to be a part of that. The kickoff will be at 3:30, I think, on Friday afternoon. So if any of you are free, the whole town is invited to come out to that. The mayor and Judge Taylor, I think, will be present, and we will, along with the Spoonbread chamber manager, will be there, and others to kick off the celebration of the event at that time. And Aaron, I, as always, do believe Boone Tavern will be bringing down the first pan of spoon bread to share on stage with the mayors and all, so we look forward to that as well. Moving on, last night we had our first Madison County International Committee meeting for our fall trip that will be October the 9th through the 17th. This is our 37-year-old Sister City program. We are one of the only sister region programs left in the U.S. So being regional, we have Madison County, we have Richmond, Madison County, and Berea. That is all a partnership program. So Liz Todd will be going this year to represent the arts and crafts piece for Berea, Kentucky, along with about 14 others that will be traveling this year in October to spend time to learn of their city. It's a terrific program. We go there, and every other year they'll be coming over here in the same time of October. We've changed things around a bit, but the whole purpose of this Sister City program is truly an educational piece. Most people don't understand that what we do in our country really is an impressive thing in Japan. So we're excited to be able to host them as we did last November. And what they learned from us between our tourism, our business development side, our economical side, our city government side, all facets of every piece to run a city they're affected with, and we show them that when they're here that week. Their days are jam-packed from 8 o'clock that morning to 10 o'clock that night. So we learn a lot when we go over there about their city government and how things work and so forth. So it's really their arts and crafts piece of everything, how that works, their fairs and their festivals. We have a long way in America to go to beat their festivals. They are impeccable by all means. We were talking last night, and I think Kent Gilbert, our president, announced that they get 40,000 people for a 2-day festival at the lodge where we go and we stay. So that's a lot of people. I about died with 8,000 plus, so, but it's a big, big deal for them, and Liz will get to experience that, and the craft makers on site there that day. They're all demonstrating, they're selling their products, and you have great culinary artists that are fantastic cooking on site on the grounds, brick pizza ovens, and it's just a really amazing piece. And you'll get to visit daycare schools that the children from 3 to 5 years old perform for us, and they never miss a beat. They have no director in front of them leading them through their performances. These children do it all. They've been trained and taught how to do it. The instructors stay behind them and they perform for us. So it's an amazing journey to learn the difference in the educational grade levels and their performances and so forth. We do have arriving here late Friday 38 junior seniors from Yatsugatake, Japan, that will be staying with us in Berea for 2 weeks. They will be blending in with Berea Community School seniors down there. They will be learning our courses, and they will be taking that back to their school to share with them how we learn and what our classes are like and what we take here versus what they take over there. When you're a junior senior in Japan, you stay in dorms, you know, so they'll be homestaying here with us, which is always a welcomed experience to them, you know. So they're really talented young people, and we're just delighted to have them here. We have everyone great homes, and we'll be a part. There'll be events going on at night in our city, so everyone will be getting a list. If you want to come, just come. You know, if you're free for 30 minutes, come meet them and welcome them here, and just to hear what they do and everything that goes with that. So it's a great program, and I hope it goes on forever. One of the things in your packet is the cabin in Old Town. Oh, I don't have a picture of that one. I was hunting for that one. We've talked about this for several months back into the fall last year, but the roof on that is to a point where we must make decisions of getting some bids on repairing that roof. That is a historical cabin, of course. The cedar shakes that are on there, we can only find one person that has ever been able to give us a bid on that. So we've had bad luck trying to get them to respond and give us a bid on that. So one of the avenues that I reached out to is doing a metal roof that is very similar in color and pattern to the cabin's walls and the roof shingles that are on the cabin currently. So I think that is something we should consider, and we've got to do it fairly quickly because fall and winter is here, and right now Mr. Wade has the upstairs covered with tarps so that it doesn't get into his cabin to ruin product. So we want to go ahead. With your permission, I'd like, Mr. Chair, to ask for a motion for allowing me to recruit or to find some bids to see what we could do on the, I did not put his in there, that's a different thing. But anyway, we do want to get some bids in quickly that we could compare and see what it's going to cost to do the roof. Going into this second piece, which ties into this, Mr. Chair, is that we have a little salt shack that sits next door, and what I'd like to do, some of the shingles that are currently on the roof of the cabin are in good shape and can be salvaged. So I think if we could take some of the good ones from there and put onto, in your packet you will find the salt shack, 3 different pictures there of how bad that is missing. That is not a used facility in any shape or form, but it is a piece that you see the minute you walk on the cabin grounds. It is a historical building as well. It is a part of what makes the grounds right there to be the cultural rural area look that we host. So I think to save money there, that we could take some of those off the immediate cabin and use on the salt shack, and save that, not having to redo that one at all. I'm open to the current kind of shingles that we have on there. All the gentleman told me from London was it would be a fortune to replace the whole roof with those. They're very difficult to locate and so forth. And I think we've pieced it to death over the years, and it looks really rough. So I think we need to make up our mind one way or the other to do one style or other on the roof and move on with that. So.
Well, I would move for a motion to do a quick study, and I think because the winter is coming at us, we should wrap this up by the next meeting,
Okay.
and come back with some prices and proposals on how to fix it. I just comment that, you know, if we could get the wood shingles repaired now, they're an ongoing maintenance issue for us. And they'll, you know, we'll be back here 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and we're gone. The next people will be doing the same thing, trying to figure out how to maintain it.
Yes.
And if we put a good quality metal roof, and those metal roofs, I've seen them, they're very, they're very antiquated looking if they're done right. I think we could find something that matches the cabin. But either way, I think we ought to examine the options and get some actual prices and actual contractors. We have a motion to let Donna move forward with that for the,
I'll make that motion.
do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any opposed? So Donna, you can move it forth and try to get us a plan and actual contractors and actual prices to
Very good.
fix it. Is a important building to the city, and we don't need to let it fall in disrepair.
And the longer we let it sit, the
worse it's gonna
the more
be.
it deteriorates. So we just need to fix it. The cost will be quite expensive, so, that's another investment we'll be making into the properties. So, the next thing on my list will be, painting of the hotel, the old hotel building down there. We talked about it a little bit ago. That too is getting to become a position of looking at that it's not top quality to look at when you drive down Broadway. And that is, we're getting into a position again to where we have so many wonderful tourists and visitors that are coming into Berea, not just in Old Town, but everywhere, but they end up in Old Town no matter what, or they start there and they go around town. So I think it's important that we keep our image cleaned up and refreshed. I can't tell you what year that was ever last touched in for painting, but a new fresh look is what we need on that corner block. That is where most of our videos are shot. The writers shoot the scenes from there. So I think with your permission, I would really like to reach out also and get some bids on what it would cost to get that painted this fall as quickly as possible too, so that we're set for Christmas. Nobody wants to talk about Christmas, but it is here. And, we have a lot of wonderful photos of Old Town and around town as well, but Old Town in a lot of our Christmas ads and magazines that are shot, in different magazines. So the better we look, the better it helps everyone. So if I may, Mr. Chair, ask for a motion to seek bids on repainting the hotel building.
Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Will you consider a new color, a vibrant?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I second that.
Absolutely. It will not go bad as it is.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is anybody opposed? That passes unanimously. So we'll go ahead and get pricing on painting the building. I just would add, there's some prep work that's gonna be needed done for that. So that'll all be pretty pricey too, because there's a little trim work needs fixing and some clean up, some caulking. And it's a big building.
It is a large building. People don't realize how tall that building is, and being completely square. And you are correct, there's going to be a lot of prep work. If you look at the back of the building, the patio that's up above, and the cracks around the building, it will be another expensive project that we have to fix up. But it has to be fixed, and I just don't want to sit and dwindle another 10 years and dwell on it. So it is our image, it is our home in Berea, and it is a beautiful hotel. And I think once you see it completely done with the vision I have for that, you're going to love it, and you're going to say, why didn't we do this 5 years ago? So I say thank you for allowing me to do that. Another good piece of information is our Artisan Village, also down there. The wind has over time beaten our flags on the street lights, and the open flags for the merchant stores have been beaten to death. They have blown off. They're non-existent. They're thin and ragged, so it is well past time of replacing those as well. Down Broadway again is our main focal point for our city. The shoppers, the buses, the riders, that's just an area that people really are proud of and want to be a part of, and it's our responsibility to go ahead and keep it as attractive as we can. In your package, you will find a sheet that Danny Gift has worked with on creating some color stories. These are pretty much what we have on the flagpoles as far as the dimensions on that. So these are just our first draft out of colors that Danny has presented. We want to remember right now they're currently burgundy and yellow, so we definitely have worn that out. And we are a very artistic town. Paducah, Bowling Green, it's just, they're so jealous of what we have for our history of our city, of the great historical buildings that we have in this town, along with everything in our Old Town area that we market as well. So I think it is going to be a challenge for us to be very, very creative with our colors. I don't think we need to be bland and boring in any way. So I think I drive Danny insane when I say, give me color, give me more color, color, color. But she's wonderful at that. So she will do whatever we want her to do on changing out. If you have a different thought on any of these color options here, or if you absolutely happen to like something that's here. Our sign company needs, was it 12 weeks to produce the banners and get them shipped. I'm trying to coordinate to where we can get enough of everything done before the film crews or the writers come into town to do our Christmas story. So if we can pretty quickly get on this, we might get our flags by early December to have them hung, for Christmas holidays as well. And if not, then we'll get them in January. But any comments on the layouts attached, please?
I love that top one. I think that's perfect because that's kind of what we're doing uptown. This to me reminds me more of Berea Community, and that one's kind of Madison Southernish to me. And I want everything to be separate. I vote for yes. I love this.
All right. I love the top one too, but everybody's got different opinions.
I also like the top one. I was going to say that as well. They all look great, but the top one is my favorite.
Very good.
Same. I'd already marked it.
Very good.
Good job, Danny.
Aaron? You can give different color options. if
No,
there's something
I
else
was
you
thinking
like,
the top one
you
too. I like the
know.
blue in especially the Artisan Village, Berea, Craft Your Adventure. I really like that one out of all of them. So
I love Craft Your Adventure. There was a time that no one probably liked that, but anymore in our city, if you're coming to a cooking class, you're coming to an art class, you're coming to a music class, a dance class, whatever you're taking, you're crafting what you want to do and have fun with it, So it's not just about that, but it's our outdoor adventure piece that you craft that in there too as well. So it's a perfect slogan, so I love it. Mr. West, yourself?
So my comments is I hate two, and one's fine with me, one or three. So I'll support the one. I do like on the third one the way that the wording gets on the banner on the right, the way the wording gets lost in the white, and it don't go into a color edge, it goes to a white edge.
Gotcha.
That's pretty. I think that'd be pretty catchy hanging on a post. Might be able to incorporate that in some of the others. But the color schemes, I like both those color schemes.
I love the deep purple as well, and I love the berry color at the top. I think those are great new refreshing colors, and I do like the white down there, and that's possibly something.
It's more about the
maybe
way it
we
gets
could
lost
do.
at the edge and the word sticks out that is about the colors, just like that, the way
It
it draws
kind of
your eye.
compliments Liz, what Liz is colors with her hands too.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So what we do here as far as
I need to
So choose-
submit a final drawing to the sign designer, and he will quote, Nancy's already got me correct sizes and quantities, So he will.
Can we just give you some general guidelines to work within the number one colors it looks like, and you all make some artistic changes as you need?
We'll shoot it out next
Yeah.
week to get a final approval from everyone to
Yeah.
submit that for the cost to get these done, and then we'll take a vote to get those approved. and move on
Because as
with
you
it.
go through the process, I'm sure you might have little changes you want to make, but generally, I think
Danny,
everybody likes the work.
we were gonna turn the word open around like you have down here on this one.
That's correct.
Okay, so we just, we were playing with so many different ones, it was unreal. But the way the open is right here will be this way. If you're walking down the street, that you would be able to see and read that that merchant store is open, you know. And we do that because when so many people come in to the train station, the welcome station there, they want to know what shops are open today, where are they. So we always, it's easier for our reception staff to say, just look for the open signs, the open flags that are out there on the storefronts, and they know that we can go in there. Because we do have many private owners in our area down there, the shops can open and close as they please, so not every store is open every day that we can refer the coach buses over to, or a demonstrating class or something like that. So I hope someday to be able to change that to where we have more of a consistency with our merchants being open. The more we recruit for visitors and tourists to come here, it becomes a bigger demand that we have corrected, consistent dates that the shops are open to handle the business we're bringing in here. So we're about to that point now to where we have so much coming in that all over town that we need to know a consistent schedule for them. So. Next on my list, I just want to remind us that the Kentucky Guild Craft Fair will be October 13th and the 14th. It will once again be held on the Log House Craft Gallery Garden area in front of the building there. 5:30 to 9 o'clock on Friday night, and then Saturday 10 till 5. So they hope to be back out at Indian Fort maybe the following year. They're doing a wonderful job of rebuilding themselves and getting membership back up and going, and they're excited about hosting their craft festival again this year at a smaller scale, but we all certainly want to go out and spend time with them in October as well. Next on my list is to Mr. Chair. We have tourism across the state. We'll have our annual conference in Bowling Green this year, and that will be, I didn't write it down here, I believe the 8th, 9th, and 10th, which would be one of our regular scheduled meetings for Berea Tourism. So I do, the entire staff, we travel for those wherever they are each year for that particular one, because that is about knowing your neighbors, whether they're Pikeville or they're Owensboro or where they might be. We learn a lot by listening and participating in learn shops there as well, so that we know what we might want to try. You know, sometimes when we're quiet enough, we listen and we learn. So we don't always have to go out there and reinvent the wheel, but we go because it's a very productive, advantageous event for us to attend. So I would at this time ask Mr. Chair for permission to cancel our meeting, that November meeting, and reschedule for December.
Do we need a motion for that, Donna? I'm
Yes,
okay
sir.
with it. Would you like a motion to cancel November?
I have a question. Last year, did we cancel December because you all were so busy and so swamped?
We did probably cancel November.
It was
The
November.
KTI is always in the late fall going into, I think. Does anybody remember December? I don't remember off the top of my head, Laura.
December, do you
but
remember?
We have about,
Because you all have got Mary Mingling. I mean, it's
I
like,
guess your point is, we wouldn't want this 2 months in a row.
yeah, that's my point.
no, there's nothing, we have no bookings in December on our regular schedule. I think
Okay.
it falls on the 10th, Nancy, if you want to look at my calendar right quickly for December, I think, but it was probably November. Well, you know what, KTI may have been because it was in Lexington last year. It was November, okay. we met in December? We don't know. We're not sure.
So we can go ahead and postpone November.
Yeah.
Plan on, was trying to be punctual and have December.
And we can always in November, if you want to push it to another, like down toward the end of November, if you want to reschedule Laura for a different date in November, as long as we can get a room reserved, we can do that. If you want to keep a November
That might be a
meeting.
good idea, because with our October meeting, you'll know more, because I was thinking that you all were just like exhausted from December. You've got
Well, we start
holidays.
decorating in November. We have to have the whole town pretty much decorated the day before Thanksgiving Day, because the writers and the film people, everyone flows into town on the day after Thanksgiving or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we have to be completely decorated and roll. So we do work like crazy a couple of prior weeks to that, getting the town decorated, and we may have closed or not done a meeting for that for some reason. I just can't remember.
Would it be better, Bill, just to make our meeting in October a little bit later or something? I don't know. I just,
That's what I was gonna say, we can just push this to October. Let's have the meeting in October and see what comes down. We'll know that we could cancel this regularly scheduled tourism meeting, and we decide the October meeting where we'd have one later in the November month, you know, according to what our demands are at the time. But we know we gotta change this date because they need to be gone. So let's just get a motion on the table to
change.
cancel this date and decide in October rather than have a meeting later in November or wait to December according to what the demands are at the time.
I'll
That's
make
everybody.
that motion.
Perfect.
Got a motion, got a second?
Second.
Any opposed? No opposed, that motion passes and we'll take up in the October meeting.
Thank you. Staff compliments. I do want to take a minute. Sometimes we don't reflect enough on tourism itself, of where we were 4 or 5 years back and where we've come from today. We have a great tourism staff that has developed themselves within each other and within the community and played a major role in bringing us into another level of where we were for tourism. So I want to start with Nancy, whom we promoted, I guess 2 years back maybe, into our operations manager. Nancy does an outstanding job keeping all of the operations paperwork part. We have a tremendous amount of paperwork for tourism. Tourism is totally, I call it a beast sometimes, but it is a lot of grants that takes an enormous amount of paperwork and monitoring and pulling documentation to send back to the state level that we answer to. For all this grant money and for our normal restaurant money as well. So we monitor Excel spreadsheets. We try to track everything that we can, but it's really a lot of staying focused on getting all of our bills paid promptly and on time, and separating all these matching funds and where the money's going and what we're doing with it. So we keep excellent records and have documentation to show that that we're on top. As the state reaches out to us, probably quarterly, don't they, Nancy, to ask for documentation on what we have sponsored, what we did, what we bought, and so forth. So we are wonderful in supplying that and having the correct information there at all times. So thank you for making all that happen. Ethan's done a great job his first year and year plus on learning the coach business himself and being able to reach out to others and attending some conferences and working with local day trip buses as well, which we're trying to get into more of that. It seems now from our last tourism meeting that is a big piece, reaching out to the different communities that are close enough to where they can make a day trip of shopping and so forth, and he'll share a little bit more about some upcoming things on that avenue as well. But he has other good news that I won't say at this time that he'll share also, that I'm completely proud of and very happy, Ethan, that you've reached that point on that degree as well. Liz has done a great job of just taking the learn shops, as we always say, mixing the old with the new. And she too will be sharing some exciting news with us about a new outreach that from being monitored from a state Department of Education eye level. There's a new thing that's been a great opportunity for Berea, Kentucky to become a part of, and using the talents and the strengths that we have right here in our own city, because others have observed and watched that we have been the honoree of that when they could have gone to many other North Carolina or other areas to reach out for artists and craft makers. But Liz has done a great job of bringing that forward in that piece of the business with us. Danny, we can never say enough for her great media work and press releases that keeps us on top with the state level as well. The state sends out weekly letters to us, partnerships and so forth. But the state of Kentucky has taken a really aggressive tone in wanting to know what you're doing in your cities. We love reporting all the great stuff that we do in Berea, Kentucky, and the collaborations that we have with our school systems, our local artists and craft makers, our own business, our own industries that we have out there. So we now get to report all the good stuff, through their newsletters that goes out across the state as well. So Danny and Nancy both have worked greatly with our state tourism staff on presenting that information to them as well. Our tourism part-time staff, I can never go without thanking them for their roles when they stand up. They take above and beyond things to help us on all these community events. They don't have to go out on their own at night and work as a volunteer to host a concert or a play and to represent Berea tourism. So Nancy gets kudos for training and working with them to teach them that it takes us all to be a part and to make something bigger than what we are. So we enjoy that. The last thing here on my note is that our fall and Christmas planning stages are full force. Missing one little sheet here. But anyway, as we all know, it is fall weather. Mr. Fall is right here, and we are so excited to see the change of weather. Even though it hasn't been a horrible summer weather, it has been a long summer as well. So we're excited to see our fall decorations. We've ordered pumpkins and straw and mums and all the wonderful things to get decorated as much as we can around town. And we do always, as always, encourage all of the residents and businesses in our community to do what they can do as well to decorate our city. It's not always up to tourism to just decorate everything in our city. So we love it when everybody comes out on their own and wants to be a private investor and sponsor a piece of a decoration here and there. It makes the town come together. I think Ethan and I were reading something the other day, again, where the governor has put out about how important it is to show unity in a community. And that starts with all of the residents and the businesses working together. So I think we're trying very, very hard to show that and to do that visually as well as everything else. Christmas is around the corner right after that, so we had our first Christmas planning meeting. A team of 6 members that are working on presenting our Christmas. And you do have a little flyer in there, if you don't mind. Thank you, Nancy. Right here in front of me. Okay, and you'll find in our Christmas planning meeting, which was very long but with great results, Again, I'm going to compliment Nancy for a comment one day. We were just talking about something. I don't recall everything that was in the conversation because we go from one to A to Z really fast, you know. But she says, why do we have to change our theme each year? We are a village in Old Town, and that is what every writer in the world calls us anyway. So our flags all designate us as a destination point of a village of artists and craft makers and shop owners. So we have decided that we will continue with the title of a Christmas village, Christmas in the Village, but we will change it a bit by each year by adding a different color theme and different story that will kind of go with that. This year we'll be doing a Christmas in the Village, a traditional old-fashioned Christmas. So as Danny prepares the media to go out on this and to our business community partners, the college and our factory workers as well, we want to keep our color story around town if we can. If everyone wants to join in, great, we would love it. But the traditional old-fashioned colors this year for decorating our city will be the traditional red, green, gold, and silver. So everybody can be creative that way in creating whatever they want to do with that. We do have new Christmas flags along with the ones that we bought and purchased last year for our streets, and we've added more to go around our city as well. We had wonderful compliments on those last year, so we're excited to have more of those to go up on all 4 sections of our city. So we're delighted with that. We have a beautiful cabin lawn that we always do a great real lit Christmas tree, and that will be our mayor's merry mingling that we'll flow into on Saturday right after Thanksgiving Day, our greatest, busiest day of the year. So we're going to pray really hard this year that we don't have an ice storm, a snowstorm, and the businesses don't have a bad sales week that week. So we're going to push a lot of extra marketing and advertising to hopefully make up for the bad weather that we got hit with Christmas week last year, because we do want to help our merchants all over town have a great Christmas. As we love Christmas. I love Christmas myself. The last thing on my list that I'll just take a moment here to read, as I mentioned, what we do sets examples for other cities, which is an honor. That takes great skill and talent to be recognized for those things in our community. And one of the things that I briefly talked about was Liz and I started maybe a month or 2 months ago back in meeting with the KEDC, the Kentucky Educational Development Cabinet Corporation, to talk about issues that were going on in our school systems today. Lack of teachers that don't want to teach anymore, whether we feel it in our colleges, universities, or we see it in local schools, the challenges that they're having with keeping the attention span of the students in their classrooms, and the issues that come for the teacher for that. So we all understand teachers have a hard life, you know. So what the educational department has come to us and approached is a partnership with that. They have watched Liz in the last 3.5 years and monitored our Learn Shop workshop classes, and they find them very intriguing. So their concept approach to us was to incorporate our local artists, to use them to work with the schools. I think we have 55 schools, maybe counties, districts, lined up where teachers from those counties will come here to Berea and a few other areas that we'll host them in as well. But we will work with the school teachers to teach a new historical type Renaissance class to the teachers, and they will take that class back into their schoolrooms and hopefully be able to teach a new trade in the schoolrooms about bringing back the history of arts and crafts. So that is an amazing piece that the state can recognize the need for that as a new opportunity to engage our students again. So we're really, really excited about being honored with that piece. And I received a nice letter here, and I do want to just read it. I haven't shared it with Liz yet, but I do want to read it to all of us so that we can really be appreciative of the talent and the work that it takes to pull something like this off. It's not an easy thing. You may end up with hundreds of teachers come rolling in here, and this is like a year-long program, so we want to be monitored and accountable for that and do our best back to all the school teachers that are coming here for this as well. But I'll just read bits and pieces here. Berea Tourism and Kentucky Educational Development Corporation collaboration. Over the past several months, collaboration with Berea Tourism and the Kentucky Educational Development Corporation, Renaissance Arts in Education, and Hero Social Studies grants has flourished. The KEDC has been working closely to align resources, objectives, and strategies to create a mutually beneficial partnership. The shared vision for promoting education and tourism in the region has paved the way for some promising initiatives in our state. Educational workshops. We have successfully organized a series of educational workshops that have garnered significant interest. These workshops highlight the rich cultural heritage of our region, as well as the educational opportunities that avail here. Tourism. Berea Tourism extensive experience in promoting tourism has allowed us to develop creative marketing campaigns. We are seeing an increase in visitor numbers which directly benefit our local communities and around our state. Community engagement. Our joint efforts in community engagement have fostered a stronger sense of unity and collaboration among local businesses, schools, and residents. This is a fantastic step towards achieving shared goals. Partnership has allowed our educators to have hands-on and authentic experiences that may not have otherwise have happened. Liz Todd has been phenomenal in creating one-of-a-kind learning workshops for our 160 educators across 55 districts in our region. The synergy has provided a place where creativity and community converge. We are very thankful for Liz and her leadership throughout this program. Respectfully, Jim Owens. So Liz Todd, thank you for taking this project on. It won't be easy, but it will be a lot of fun and will serve a lot of good purpose throughout the state of Kentucky. So this is a grant project fully funded by the KEDC. The artist will be covered through that. Our teachers that come here for whether it's 2 days or 3 days, whatever they may travel here, that will be covered, their expenses, so they're not losing time being out of classrooms and so forth. So it's a great benefit to our local artist instructors that have an opportunity to excel themselves and be highlighted and honored as a teacher for this program as well. So it's a total win-win, and it's just a great accomplishment to Berea Tourism. Thank you. That will conclude my report, and I went longer than I should have, but I'll take any questions that anyone might have, concerns, questions.
Donna,
Liz?
I don't have a question. I just want to say that I appreciate you all staying positive. I know that you work hard. I see it. You are goal setters, and you all have been achieving it, and I am proud of you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Christy.
I too, I back everything you just said. You know, when we talked about in the beginning when we were hiring quality, and when you hire quality, this is what the outcome looks like. So me, I always think about the consequences. Okay, so we take this on, and she's already overloaded on her work now. All of you are. And with this, I can see this becoming other states
Absolutely.
wanting to, this to me is huge. And kudos to you guys. You are so appreciated.
Thank you. It's an honor to be observed by people you don't even know that are watching you in your city, how you grow. the productivity that comes out of Berea, the volume. Nancy will talk a little bit more about the tourism growth from the Welcome Center numbers that we get. It is amazing how many more people are coming into our city, enjoying our city, and just the outdoor pieces of it, the uniqueness of it, and just the laid-back atmosphere of what Berea has to offer that is different from other cities. Every city has great assets, and so do we. So we enjoy highlighting those, and we work toward that degree, and not the negativity that tries to pull
I
you
don't
down.
feel like I don't hear the negativity that I once did. I mean, I just in the people, the guests that come and stay in our home, they're wanting to come back. They're already booking for next year.
Wonderful. That's
you know,
great.
when I first started opened my Airbnbs, you know, you just you get a booking. Like for me to book for September and October, it's like right now they're starting to book, and now they're already telling me, Laura, I love it. I'm coming back. I love the music that you hear coming out of the little cabin.
Yeah.
You know, and you can go down there. I was kind of hanging out with them, with some guests in town, and I just kind of hang back and didn't say that I lived here or anything. And it was so neat to see your all staff. Just, you know, we went in through the train depot, and that lady, it was just unbelievable the things she said and how much she loves Berea. You feel it when you go in the shops, the music's playing. I mean, my other concern, when you get this, Liz takes this on, will you need staff to do that, or is your all staff
She is training great backup staff to assist her.
okay.
In our last meeting, we recognized Miss Sierra Moberly, and Sierra has just been a great assistant. Liz has pretty much got it down pat because she's currently, the last 3.5 years, been working with the artists and the instructors that we're used to working with. Well, the state loves these people, so they're already trained. We have all the documentation, and it's an easy kind of flow over from what she does every day anyway. She's just sharing them a little bit more. And I want to touch, Laura, one thing you said there, that the music in Old Town, isn't it wonderful to drive through there or sit down there and hear the music on the grounds, you know, that are playing on the streets there. We've had that up and going, Nancy, for a year maybe, and that has added such a nice piece, and people truly enjoy hearing that, and that's a unique piece that we've added also. We just keep coming up with things to highlight us and make us better. Nothing's more enticing. Now, if we could get Christie's big black pot so we could do the chocolate soiree, we'd be okay. You know, we've got our music playing for Christmas on the streets, and we're fully decorated. The whole town lights up for Christmas. We're a beautiful, beautiful city, as we are, but we are extremely beautiful come the fall and winter seasons, and the music and the different wonderful flavors that you smell on the streets are fabulous too. So thank you, Laura, for your comments.
I just wanted to say, as a local artist and business owner, I feel like a business owner down in Old Town right next to you guys, I feel like I have the opportunity to see each of you in action all the time. I know I always say that, but I just want to say thank you to each of you, because I feel like you always have such passion for each of your roles, and you're each very hardworking individuals. So thank you each.
Thank you, Becky.
Bill, maybe we can skip commissioner comments now. Sorry, I got that started, but
We can't say thank you enough, really, to each of you.
And we appreciate it more than you know. All right.
Just like one back to business question here. Where are we at on any updates on the trolley? And what are you finding there, and how we're progressing?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm still researching on the trolley. The used trolleys, to stay under the dollar amount that we had the line item budget for $150, is not coming in. I mean, there's just not a lot of good trolleys that you would want to put your money into. I have been researching with a new company out of Crandon, and what we could do. Laura, you get the credit for making me go back and think about this, because when we started the trolley search, Laura said, why are we buying used? Let's buy new. So today with the information that this trolley company is showing me, they can custom build us exactly what we need, less or more, and it can always be upgraded and added to going into the future. But there is a great opportunity between 180 and 200,000 to get a custom built trolley, not a bus, but a real custom built trolley. Full maintenance and everything warranty wise on that.
What kind of time frame to
So,
build that custom? Is it years?
I think it was, no, it was like 16 weeks or something like that, so it wasn't
I mean, because
a
are you
long
gonna need
time.
it for these hundreds of teachers that are gonna be coming? Will they be utilizing?
We need
We
it
may
now.
have to rent them.
Yes.
We needed it
Let's
3
get
years
it.
ago.
Yes,
It's
Bill.
all- we're going to
Get
need it.
this
We did it
done,
last
Bill.
week, and I like it now, you know.
Let's
got-
get this done.
We got people all over town, he's moving around, you know, that
Yes.
events are happening.
I just feel like with the publicity we're getting, sometimes in life you do things on faith because, I mean, to me, the publicity we're getting and everybody's coming, they want to move here, you know, they want to move to our community because Berea's different.
It's different.
We're different.
I think some
It's
of the
a
things
different
we
kind
experienced
of
with trolley
different.
too is, you know, you finally use trolley, and then to get the handicap set up like you want, and get your signs set up like you want, get communication set up like you want. When you add those little things to it, you're back to, you know, you're back to where like, well,
You could have had
we'll
a
be
new
there.
one. Yeah.
You know, we're just 10 or 15,000 from new, you know, so.
A warranty along with that
Yes.
new.
Yes.
So-
I mean, I just don't know. I mean, to me, I bought used for many, many years, and I still buy used on things. But I find if you can find the funds for it, it saves a lot of headaches and fixing it and repairing it, and you know, I
I
still
agree.
vote for that.
I'm fine with doing the new, and after, you know, speaking with this company and seeing some of their work and going through some of their sketches, I think what we can do is amazing with a new trolley. We don't want it parked and sitting empty all the time. There's so many people waiting in the background that are excited about having a trolley in town for different little tours that we can do more of every week. But we are becoming a bigger and bigger destination for conferences, for 2 or 3 day conferences in this town. And when the bus or, we don't have a trolley, but when I've got to have availability for a bus, then of course we have to rent a bus. So we've done that for years, and I think we're in a position now that we should strongly consider, with your approvals, that we move forward with getting a real design and a flat cost to build, custom build what we want with all the whistles
So
on
why
it
don't
or
we
less.
place a goal of, by next meeting, let's have some options to
Look at,
consider.
Yeah, because you're talking 16 weeks. If we ordered today, you're already into next year practically. If you can get it in 16 weeks. You know, I agree with you. I'd like to do that.
move forward.
Mhm.
I'll do that with pleasure, with
Okay,
pleasure.
I don't think
Better, I'll just,
no, I don't think so.
yep, I'll take care of
Yeah,
get us
we'll just make sure it's on
a
the agenda.
design and a
for next
cost,
time.
you know,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
way we can, you know, I'm excited about that. I think that's just a wise move. We buy junk, then we're fixing it up all the time, you know, and we want it to be in good shape all the time for the dignitaries and others that come into our city, and what we can do with it as tourism, you know, will certainly over.
I think it's important that we turn it into a tool. You know, we need good communications on it. We need messaging ability to message to whoever's on that. You know, we need to, I think the handicap's important that we message the public that we're a very inclusive town.
Absolutely.
So I think, you know, we had to use the whole, not just move people around, but when we got them there, we need to be marking the town while we got them captive on there, for they know what's going,
That's right.
where they can go when they get off. Yeah.
Agree.
Is anything else for Donna? Donna, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we'll move on to staff reports. And on the list, we follow this, which we don't have to. We got Ethan up first with the motor coach specialist report.
Good afternoon. So usually I get up here and I tell you that I'm going to be quick. Today's not that day. So I'm going to give you some updates, and then I think it's fair that you know exactly what it is that I'm doing with these groups, because I feel like I just get up here and I say, oh, well, they're coming, but I don't tell you what they're doing. So I'll start out and I'll give you some updates about what I talked about previously. The motorsport group, Wave 2 is now sold out of that, so that's 120 people now. That's 360 meals, completely confirmed. So that is good. I checked into the car show that we talked about last month. That has been, they said it's too late to let their people know. But good news is they said we would be interested in doing that next year. So I take that as a sign that they're already going to come back. Let's see. Next, I've been doing the partnership with the Berea Community School Special Needs Program. That's been successful so far. I've been working with the student for 1 hour each Monday at the train station. That's been going really well. So I'll get into the September bus schedule. The fall is a huge month for bus groups. So just this past week, I had the Branson Ticket and Travel Tour on September 7th. That was 55 people. So they come in, and I have here that they arrived at 2 o'clock and they departed at 4:30. But I met them at the Kentucky Artisan Center, and I met them at 1:40, and I do a drive-along tour with them. They go through town. They stopped at the Lock House Craft Gallery, and then they made another circle around town, and then we come to the Old Town Artisan Village, and they watch artist demonstrations, and then they have time to shop. So while they stopped at Lock House Craft Gallery, I recommended this Halo Dip stuff that you put in your Cool Whip. They sell it there. They sold out just by my recommendation. I do not get commission, unfortunately. So they asked me if I did. I said I do not. So then we come to the Old Town Artisan Village, and I talk about the artists, who they're about to meet, and I think that went really well. They enjoyed that bus. The people were asking me if I was going to eat with them at Boone Tavern. I said I'll go home after this, but they were from Arizona. It was a church group, and it was such a large church. It was. She told me that they do 4 services, and there's 300 people in each service. And so I gave them my card, and I said, next time you just book through me and don't go through a company, and you can just come and I'll set up everything for you. So then this coming Sunday, we have a Colette tour, and Colette usually does the same thing when they come to town. So they come in, they will arrive usually around 9:30 to 10 o'clock in Old Town. They will watch demonstrations. We will have 3 demonstrating artists. That's either Becky, Michelle Weston, Tim Wade, and Bob Mattingly. They get 20 minutes at each rotation, and then they go and eat at the Boone Tavern afterwards. As I've said in the past, I am trying to improve that itinerary with them and try to get them here longer, because when they leave here, they go straight back to Lexington, so they could be here for longer. We will have on the 21st the University of Louisville Women's Club tour. That's 18 passengers. Sorry, I didn't tell you how many was on that Colette bus. There's 44 people on that bus. University of Louisville, 18 passengers. That's a small group. They reached out to me. They're coming to shop in Old Town from 4 to 5 o'clock just for the evening hours. And then we have the Colette tour on the 24th, and that is another 44 passengers coming. They will do the same exact thing as the first one. Okay, so Donna has talked about what I've got to say. So also, actually, this is before the next one. On the 26th of September, this is super exciting. So I reached out to the State Department regarding what shows that the Kentucky State Tourism Department will be trying to put their focus on this year. And so she said, funny you reached out. I was going to reach out to you and ask you if there was anything I needed to see and do for this international group that's coming. So we talked about the international travelers coming this week, staying for 2 weeks. It's such a huge piece. As Donna said in the past, it's like $1 billion industry, because these people come over and now there's direct flights from Bluegrass Airport. So there's going to be a international fam tour here on the 26th, and they are going to do, they're going to be staying like a few days here, and then they're going to be doing dinners at Boone Tavern. There's only about 10 or 12 of them. So what they are they are the tour planners from Germany and United Kingdom. So when they come here, whatever's on their itinerary, that's what they take back, and they build that itinerary and they sell it. So like I have them, they're going to be, they couldn't find breakfast. So I've reached out to Native Bagel, got their breakfast covered for that morning before they depart, and they will go back and they'll say, well, we ate at Native Bagel in Berea. And then there you go. That's in Germany. And then all these people are coming over and they're flying straight in. And then they know to go to Native Bagel, go to Boone Tavern. I'm going to set up artist demonstrations for them on the 26th. So they're going to say, well, we met Tim, Becky, Bob, and they're going to talk about all that. And that's going to be all listed out on their itineraries, in Germany and United Kingdom. So that's a really big deal. Looking forward to that. Okay, so on the 28th of September, we have, this is unbelievable. We got a call, and they were having a conference for Partners for Rural Impact, which used to be Partners for Education through the college. They are hosting their conference at the Central Bank Center in Lexington. So they reached out, and they have a day of fun planned. And they said, well, no better place than where it all started. So we're going to do Berea. So they're getting 3 options for what they get to do when they come to town. They can go to the Middletown School, they can go to the Forestry Outreach Center, or they can come to Old Town and watch artist demonstrations and shop. So they were supposed to put a capacity on who was allowed to come down to Old Town, because they knew that would be probably one of the most attractive out of the options. So they did not. They forgot to put the cap on it. There's going to be on September 28th from 2 to the latest. I couldn't see it ending at 4:30, but there's going to be 170 people in Old Town. So we are going to have, I've told Donna, and I said, I think, this has never happened before. That's a lot of people down there at one time. We're going to have 3 buses. So 2 buses are going to come directly there from Lexington in the hotel. And then there's going to be one that drives to Middletown School, picks up everybody that lives within a 50-mile radius, and then brings them on down. They will be there. We will have artist demonstrations. We have created a banner for them that should be here in a week. We've talked about a tent being set up on the premises for drinks and refreshments and all that good stuff for them. We have live music coming for them. I'm trying to just blow their mind when they get here. I'm trying to think of everything. So the new grilled cheese place, the Burt's Speak Cheesy, I talked to them today. They're going to do discount cards for them. So when they get there, I'll hand that out to the people getting off the bus and encourage them to, walk up to the new restaurant. And then I sent out an email. I'm probably bothering Becky so much with so many emails, but I'm like, you gotta, if you want to do any special promotions or anything, because what that does is that translates to, those people know people, and that just spreads the word. I can't tell you how many groups I have that are, I'm slowly seeing where they're getting their information, whether it's the bus company they use, who they know in a different company. It just spreads like that. I got a call yesterday, and this guy from Murray State University was reaching out. Turns out he's underneath the umbrella company of PRI. So he was talking about the fall conference that they're going to have. Well, there's nothing saying that we can't do the same exact thing in the fall. Or not the fall, sorry, the spring of next year. So that will happen on the 28th. Trying to think if there's anything else that's just it's going to be a lot of people. So we're looking forward to that. I think that's all, boots on the ground that day. So if you want to come down there, I invite you to come down there. We are going to, what else? Gosh, there's so much. There's a lot that we have planned. I'm trying to get as much as I can planned before they get here for them. Okay, so moving on. We have scheduled for in October, Madison County Youth Development's going to come back for the Arts Across the Curriculum program. They're going to come. We do that. We did that last year with them. They do rotations with the artists, and then they also stop in the train station. We get to talk to them, tell the students kind of what we do, and then the artists kind of give more of a business side of things besides just the artistic work. And then we will also do that again. I got an email today. We're going to try to plan this for October as well. Hunter Hills Elementary School out of Corbin, they're going to have over 100 fourth graders that come down here up here. And they just emailed me. They're good to go on that, so we're going to try to pick a day. They haven't been here since 2019 due to COVID and all that, so it really says a lot that they're wanting to come back, and they've kept us in mind that long. I mean, that's been almost 4 years ago, so looking forward to that. 2024 tours and growing interest. I'm getting calls about that every day. There's already 3 or 4 different tours that have already booked for the 2024. And then I want to talk to you about recently what I had done. I think in the first 18 months on the job, I had to be certified and get certification for my role. So me and Donna worked together to find a program for that. The Certified Tourism Professional Program through the National Tour Association. They're based out of Lexington, but that's a national company. Over the past few months, I took the course. So it's like 3 courses. There's 5 chapters in each course, and then there's 5 quizzes and a final exam in each course. And then there's a white paper that you have to write over tourism and what you've learned throughout the program. And then you have to take a final exam. Thankfully, I passed, so surprisingly, so now it looks like I'm official now. It's my name, and then it says CTP after it. So I sent an email out today, and I was like, that's the first email that it has it on. So looks good, So we've been doing that. That's significant. If you're not familiar with that, I've heard, I see people all the time with that certification. Achieving, I got some notes here that I kind of took from their website. Achieving the CTP designation is a testament to my dedication and commitment to excellence in the package travel industry. The certification is recognized as a hallmark of professional competency and excellence, demonstrating my experience, knowledge, and motivation to excel in the field of tourism. Their CTP program is the industry's most specialized and comprehensive program, and it serves as an ongoing commitment to staying current with the rapidly evolving tourism landscape. Furthermore, the CTP designation signifies my commitment to continuous education and professional growth. So I have that white paper if anybody's interested. It's 7 pages if you're interested in reading it. I do have that with me. Let's see, I think that is all that I had. I think so. Is there any questions?
First off, congrats on your certification.
I know, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm official.
It's great.
Yeah.
The only thing I was going to suggest or ask about is for the 28th, you were talking about giving out a discount.
Sorry.
Oh.
I think that's me.
Sorry if it was me. You were talking about a discount card for Bert's Speak Cheesy.
Yes.
Awesome idea. 170 people is a lot of people. So I was just going to say, and maybe you already have, maybe ask Apollo's, see if they're interested in something like that. Maybe Becky's Breads, or maybe
Yes.
maybe they want to do something special that day. I don't know. But that's a lot of people. And you might need to disperse them if they're going to want to go eat.
Right.
And then, that was my only suggestion. Great job.
Yes, I've reached out. Well, I have not reached out to Apollo. I did reach out to Becky's Breads. She is going to be out of town that week.
Oh, okay.
She's going to be in San Francisco.
Yes, I think
So-
you told me that. Sorry.
No.
But maybe Apollo's. I don't know.
Yeah, I will definitely reach out to Apollo's and see if they would be willing to take on that many people.
But this all looks great. All exciting news. So thank you.
Wow, I can't believe this. This is you. When do you sleep?
I don't know.
You've been studying.
Try it, yeah.
Congrats. I was just kind of curious of what your frustrations are when you do this. How is, I mean, we're going to need, sounds like we're going to need new restaurants if you continue to do what you've done from what I see in 1 year.
Well, I will tell you that it's been good because recently I've got this one group coming in December, and there's been some kind of complications in finding somewhere to eat for them because she's wanting to do a catered meal, and I think her guests do not want to leave the hotel that night. So I reached out to the Burts Speak Cheesy and asked them to, if they would be interested in using their food truck to drive to the hotel and accommodate that group. So I think that's something I can expand on and get those people involved as well, not just brick and mortar.
There's also a lot of local caterers that do weddings and do those things.
They don't know this yet, but I think they're going to go with Lee's to cater to the hotel for
And
them.
I'm just curious, I know you said 175 people is a lot to deal with. What about you guys as restaurant people?
175 is a very difficult number. I mean, 135, 150 is what we normally do, and that's very organized. So just having them kind of go where they want is going to be it's tricky. It's a tricky thing to work with, but
Is that something where the bus could take part of them to Churchill's
That's
and
gonna be
part
the
of
problem.
them
Is you
to?
gotta be able, going back to trolley, and you gotta be able to disperse these people through town, and there is a, and not taking from Old Town at all, but we gotta be able to disperse and service the whole town, spread the revenues throughout the whole town.
Share the wealth.
And we need a place to move them around.
Absolutely.
Going to your question, we don't find 175 hard if they're eating the same thing. If you're serving, a prep meal, the 175 off a menu would be tough. I mean, that's just
Well, that's what I was just thinking as we move forward, and I look at I love your enthusiasm too. I mean, because you bring fresh ideas, all of you all, and we're seeing it, and that's what I'm wondering. And I love that we got the new restaurant uptown. We need to support it. And when I gone, it's a 45-minute wait right now just to get your food, and that's just learning curve. I know Sandy and them, they will get past this. But that's what I was just curious to see, what's some of your feedback on your frustration.
like this. Let's not speak for a cheesy place, but take a place like that. The order process can take so long. They if you know what they're eating, it's different. But if they're coming up and they're ordering just to get that process started in a very linear way, and it takes an hour to get through the orders. I mean,
Would a countermeasure be to maybe have several food trucks sitting
I've thought about
there?
that.
Would they? Yeah.
They would do that. One thing that they talk about in the industry is that I think that the people, they don't like to be told what to do, like the visitors. So,
Right.
But I think when you present options, they enjoy that. Sometimes not all of them want to eat the same thing. But I did, a lot of food trucks at one time. I've done catering before. I got catered through Berea College Farm Store, and then the group ate it at the Folk Center. And so I try to involve all kinds, because sometimes I feel bad that I like these people, or I like their food, and I want these people to try it, but maybe there's not enough room in there for 170 people. So yeah, presenting more options as far as I think driving food trucks to their hotel, it's interesting.
Yeah, and the other question I had is the bike trail. We spent a lot of money on that bike trail. How is the bike trail? Is that something that, do you have buses coming to do the bike trail?
So my age group usually ranges from 60 to, I had one the other day that was 93.
So that's not.
it's a younger group.
That's a younger group.
And the younger the group, the younger the person, the more likely they are to travel by themselves. We have events, 10 young people stay at a hotel. They all go out and get their own car, drive there. They all drive back to the same hotel that night, one
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, and as you age, you'll see the car fill up. The next stage is 2, next car is 3. you're old enough, there's 4 or 5 in there. I mean, it's just
But I
it's how
see-
demographics behave.
Yeah,
You
if we
know.
had food trucks
Yeah.
out there.
And young people like food trucks, so,
You know, if we had food trucks, the older people, or the age group that you're talking about, they might go home and tell they ate their food truck, they ate their food at the food truck, saw that bike trail. Would they tell them their grandchildren?
we're seeing people, I mean, I've seen people in town eating, where I'm talking to these other restaurants in town, and they're coming for the bike trails. I know they're coming for that, because every time I get a chance, I ask somebody, what are they here for, and what are they doing, what brought you to town? Sometimes they live down the street from you, but sometimes, most of the time, from other places. There's more than what I thought coming for the outdoor activities, and also they're a little bit older than I mean, not the age that Ethan's done with, but some of them are trending in the mid 40s and late 40s. I know that's not old, but it's just older than I imagine, being a bike trail type guy. But they
Well, I
drove
think
like
you're-
300 miles and hauled 2 bikes.
The generation,
And they're gonna take
you
you on
are
all the
healthier
trails,
people
you know.
than, I mean, they are. I
Yeah.
mean, I see them feeding their children differently than we did, and kudos. I mean, they're making better decisions, and I think it's the 40s might be the new 20s. You know?
It might be, but there's a quite a few people that I ask them what they're in town for, and they've said they've come for they've heard about the bike trails, and they act, some of you talk to them, they're going two times a month, making a trip to somewhere for these bike trails.
I
which
think
found
I think
fascinating.
in the past, Berea they have came for the pinnacles.
Oh yeah,
If anywhere you
definitely.
go over the world, the pinnacles,
Yeah, I was gonna-
Topolino's, the
I was gonna
pinnacles.
say I went hiking not long ago on the East Pinnacle, and I bumped into some people and was asking them, where are they from? Why were they here? They're from Georgia. They normally hike Appalachian Trail, and they just heard about Berea and the Pinnacles. I don't know where they were staying in town, but that's why they came to Berea, was to go hike the Pinnacles, because they had heard so much about it.
I think the
But we've
Pinnacle's
changed.
a wonderful
we've
asset.
changed it
They're a
because
wonderful
now
asset.
they're coming to see Becky's shops and the workshops, and I mean, just congratulations, guys.
I think our goal is to
Done
have
a
so much
wonderful
for them is that they can't do it on a trip, and they want to come back. And So.
I will say that, speaking about younger people, like I know that my title is motor coach, which does imply that I'm working with buses only, but you can ask Donna, I work with people that, I'm trying to work with people that are traveling in the cars. Well, just like the group that's coming in October, I mean, they're all coming by cars, but what I think that allows is for the younger generation to get here. So, I'm all for working with bachelor groups, bachelorette trips, maybe like a girls' weekend. I mean, I can plan that for you and send it to you in an email in a day,
Like the car group you got coming, Ethan.
Yeah.
That's promising. I think. I mean, every association and group and club is a target for what you're talking.
Yeah, and I'm
about.
sure that some of those people in that car group are part of another car group, and that they have a conference, and then that attracts them back here. So,
Y'all are doing such a good job that the town's going to be saying it's too crowded.
yeah, get them out of here.
Some of them already.
Yes, they're going to say you're
We
too
don't want-
crowded. But we're doing our job, basically. I mean, because our job is to bring tourism
That's
to
exactly
the town.
right.
And
People on the bus and the people in the cars, that is a tourist. So, and that is money that is not from this town, that is out of town, and it's new money. And when that gets implemented into your city, that's a big deal. So, and then you also got to think, all these buses, all these cars, they're not, what's it called? They're not electric, so they got to stop and get gas. And
It's so funny to me whenever I'm talking to people, they'll say, and I tell them, I have Airbnbs. They're like, "What? Berea? Why?" And then when I tell them everything we have here, before you know it, they're like, "We may just come up here."
There's
this
quite a
weekend."
few Airbnbs in town now.
There's probably
quite a few.
What are there? 50 something maybe. Yeah, that's awesome. That's
in the
revenue
it's in the dozens.
for our citizens.
It's in the dozens. It's quite a few, and I like it. Okay, anything
I'll
else?
tell you one last thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a story. So going back to what Donna was talking about, people that travel here. I just heard this the other day. I have a cousin that lives in North Carolina, and she went in to get her braces on, and the dentist went to school at Berea College. So she asked my aunt, she was like, "Where's that accent from?" And she was like, "Kentucky," and she said that she went to Berea, but she talked about the city. And this comment, I'll say something else. She said that it felt like life stood still in Berea, and that everybody was so nice, and that she loved the community, and that her and her children and her husband were dying to get back up here and visit. So she was from Georgia. She lives in North Carolina, and the orthodontist is trying to get back up here to see what it's like. And then she said, "Well, my nephew," my aunt said, "My nephew works up there." But I think that goes to show that the city sometimes maybe doesn't realize what they take for granted and how nice the people are. I can remember when I started, I'd go outside and I'd water the flowers, and it was like completely, now I don't do that all the time now, but sometimes when I go out there, it's completely silent, and I was like, this doesn't feel real. So I think sometimes people take the city for granted, and then they don't realize what they have. And then when these people are coming in, I'm not making it up. That's what everybody says. They're like, we're coming back. Because there's no, real hustle and bustle here. It's a break. It is a true vacation. So I was going to tell you all that. I thought about that.
Thank you, Ethan. And, Liz, the program manager report. Let's see.
Watashi no nama wa Liz des. So I'm working on that. It's the first time I've said it in public, so I just said, hello, my name is Liz. Oh, I didn't say Ohio first. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm getting there. So I'm going to keep practicing. Thank you again. I'm so excited to be able to join the other delegates to visit Japan. Last night was such an honor just to be around so many smart, intelligent, wonderful, talented people, and I cannot wait to go and bring their wealth of knowledge and information back with me and share some of ours. Just a couple of quick things that I took away from that meeting. I had no idea that their population and their square footage there is almost identical to Berea. So there are so many similarities, which I think is just so neat, that it's just a perfect partnership to be a sister city for us. So again, more and more excited every day, and gonna keep working on my Japanese, because that was the first time it came out of my mouth. So again, Liz Todd, program manager. Donna really spoke a lot about the KEDC collaboration, which I have just been over the moon excited about. Wasn't sure if it was something that I should start sharing with others yet. When things are involved with educators and grants and at a state level, I'm not really, kind of wanted to kind of keep it mum until I was sure everything was confirmed, because when Wendy King reached out to me back at the end of May, we had such an amazing connection. She felt like a best friend. She's actually from Mount Vernon. I went to school with her little sister, how things like that happen. But it was one of those conversations where you don't want to get off the phone and you feel like you've met your best friend. And then towards the end, it almost felt like, oh gosh, is she a salesperson? Because it felt that comfortable and like, wait, this is almost too good to be true, which is, it's not. It's a great collaboration. But that is just how this synchronicity, collaboration, the way it has come together, and just what a perfect fit that it is, just like Donna said. We were able to actually finally meet with them in person. We had an original meeting for July the 7th, which was the first day of Craft Festival setup, so that didn't work. So after many phone calls with Wendy and Dr. Jim Evans, we were finally able to meet at our lovely Boone Tavern and have some amazing conversations about really compelling ways that we can help educators get their kids interested in learning. The biggest takeaway for me, which one of the biggest takeaways, which I was shocked, and one of my instructors knew this fact, and so that you all might as well, but I did not. They don't teach Kentucky history past the 4th grade. Did you know that? So I was blown away by that. When you think about it, it kind of makes sense when you go back, which that's a long time ago, but you get the bare bones about Kentucky, about the heritage, and that is it. So that is where Berea is just this wonderful wealth of knowledge and information. When I have sat down and spoken with my artist instructors, who I am very passionate about and want them to succeed and want them to make money and to teach others their crafts and their knowledge, what they have been most excited about is this historical piece, because this is what has driven them in their craft and in their medium, whether it be for 1 year, 2 years, 6 years, 25 years, 40 years, is that heritage and history of their medium. So what we're doing with these classes is we're able to offer not only the craft itself, but also the tie-in to Kentucky as a state, the heritage, and the full background, where they can take that back to the classroom and make it interesting, compelling, and something that students want to learn about, not only on an arts level, but also in the history classroom or any other classrooms, or they can sprinkle that history knowledge in because it's not necessarily built into the actual curriculum. So that to me is something very, very exciting that we're going to be able to offer from the best of the best, in my opinion. I would like to, we've talked a lot about this collaboration. I really don't need to go much more into it. 55 districts, we did kick it off last Saturday. We had 38 people. The signups were open for 4 days and 38 people signed up. So this is, as soon as this information is out there, people are the classes will be full. So our biggest thing from now on, every class that we have classes scheduled each month through May 2024, a balance and a mix of history and art. Our biggest thing is going to be able to find classroom space, and I'm so excited that we have that space coming at the Toll Building that will be available soon, and also the so that kicked off last weekend, and then we're going to actually have, what I was going to say is we have classes this coming Friday. And I would love to invite you all. I know it's a wild week for everybody with Spoonbread and your jobs and your lives, but our first Berea class is going to be with Jeff Farmer, and it's something we've never offered. It's actually going to be the history of metalwork from a blacksmith's perspective from 1700s to current day, and how that metalwork really shaped Kentucky. So some people, that doesn't sound interesting or compelling, but I guarantee when Jeff Farmer, who is the expert of the expert, teaches it and demonstrates and lets people actually engage and create, it's going to be just fabulous. So I invite you to stop by. That's going to be at the Chestnut Street Pavilion on Chestnut Street. This coming Friday, we're going to open the gates at 8:30. That class is going to start right at 9 a.m. And believe it or not, Mr. Curly-haired overalled man is prompt. So he's probably going to start at 5 till. So if you want to come and you want to be there when it starts, I would get there at 5 till 9. And that class is going to be until 3 o'clock. And we'll do a break from 11 a.m. to noon. Our educators are going to come to town on Thursday. As soon as that bell rings, they're going to kick the kids out of the class and they're going to head to Berea, check into Boone Tavern, go out to eat, hang out, shop. And then they're also going to probably get some snacks at the gas station. They're going to need some gas while they're here, of course. Some might want to venture out and explore what Airbnbs we have so they can come with their families because they're going to fall in love with Berea, of course. And then on Friday, when they break from 11 to 12, they're going to go eat in the community as well. And then a lot of them have, of course, expressed interest in the Spoonbread Festival. So they have that itinerary as well as a list of all of our restaurants, lodging, and things to do. So that's just the beginning. We have so many fun things planned for our educators with new artists, resident artists, and history and art, and basically what Berea is all about. Excited to introduce people that have never been here before, that have come up to me, that came up to me on Saturday and have said, oh my gosh, I've always looked at your schedule. I've always wanted to come to your classes. I finally get to come to Berea. We're going to be able to offer that to people. And I hope that 55 district number increases to that 70 that they are actually offering to. That's the goal. And then that can just grow and grow. And every month we'll have those people here and be able to show them again what a gem and special place that Berea, Kentucky is. So, in a nutshell, that's it. What can I answer? And please don't criticize my Japanese. I promise I will continue to craft and curate that as well. Soften the edges.
I think I'll be ill qualified to comment on your Japanese. Sounded great to me.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions or?
Of course you don't have a question. My question is, I always listen to what you don't say, and what I heard you not say is your space. And I know Toll Gallery is going to be your space. That's not available.
No.
What about the hotel? Could that be an option in the future?
So right now we're able to utilize the Folk Center. We have the Senior Center, the intergenerational building behind the Folk Center. We have classroom space in the basement of City Hall, all those classes during the week. So when that building is open, we're able to use that space. And then the Chestnut Street Pavilion. Right now, we are not using that space.
Okay, just a thought. I didn't know if that would even be a thought for what you're doing it with.
Restrooms might be a problem there.
It might be too small because we were trying to cap these classes at the lowest at 30 people capacity. The way that building is set up as well, to have 30 plus chairs plus an instructor trying to move about with 6 to 8 foot tables might not be an option as well.
All right.
But I love the idea. I'm always open to space ideas.
Well,
You know, we put them on the
I'm
platform.
always thinking,
Yeah.
when I listen to, you could foresee this happening. With Ethan, with you can't, there's consequences to everything we do. And I foresee us needing more space as this continues to grow, which is a wonderful problem.
Yes.
We reached out
To
to
Laura's question, I'm sorry, we also have a wonderful working relationship with Berea College
We
that
do.
accommodates Liz in classroom spaces. Every time we need, they take very good care
Yes.
of us, and we love working with Berea College.
If
Yes.
you'd reached out
Yes,
to Berea.
we've had 2 set classrooms for ever and ever and ever, and they actually in July have added an even much larger classroom. So now we have 3, and those all have amazing utility sinks, tables, stuff we can wipe down, and they're very, very gracious.
I love
So,
to see the college and the
Yes,
city
and
work together.
I apologize. I just blanked on that.
No, that's-
Thank you.
Okay, Liz, this is for you.
Sure, I'm ready.
Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato.
You better test that. I tested you last night.
Yeah. Was that thank you?
She failed the test.
Arigato.
Oh, darn it.
Arigato's from a song.
That's right. Thank you so
Thank you.
very much.
Arigato, thank you. So you just say arigato, right? Arigato. And then, wait, I practice one more. Wait. I can just say Ohio. It's just hi. I'm just going to be like, Ohio. No. Ohio. What about Ohio? Comic
All right,
relief,
thank you.
always. All right. Thank you, guys. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right, Nancy, your operations manager report and your language of choice.
Sorry, I won't surprise you with any other languages. But thank you all very much. We always start with our visitor count, and the comparison chart is in your report. For August, our visitor count was 1,511. This number is the walk-in visitors to the Welcome Center. It's an increase of 260 compared to last August. And I wanted to make a note there at the bottom of the chart, on the bottom right, you'll see all of the totals for each year. And so from January through August of this year, we have serviced and provided services to over 12,200 visitors so far this year. We've answered over 1,152 phone calls at our office. So our team is staying quite busy with that. Last month, Donna mentioned a little bit, I've worked with her and our finance department to complete our EDA and ARPA grant justifications and legislative reports. We do submit those to the state. We also applied for a yearly matching funds grant with the state tourism department. Over the last few months, our Berea map and brochure, this is, you all saw this probably back in May or June. Danny completed this brochure, or you saw it actually before that, before it went to print. So we got these in our hands probably back in May. And over the last few months, this has been shipped to all of our welcome centers throughout the state. And our part-time team has been distributing them and kind of restocking all the businesses throughout Berea. So if anybody needs more of these, let us know. We'll get them out to you. Any of the businesses in town that need those, we'll get them out, or they can be picked up. Obviously, we're open from 9 to 5 every day, and so those are available for everyone who may need them. Each year, our Berea Welcome Center's wood carvers, they complete a friendship cane. So each of the wood carvers carve a piece of a cane. It gets assembled and put on display at our office. And that is, they sell raffle tickets for that cane each year. So the funds raised from selling those raffle tickets go to a children's charity, and that charity is different each year. They pick a different charity. Sometimes it may be an office for local resources at Berea Community School, or the public library youth programs, or something that happens to benefit local youth. So when they reached their $500 this year, they donated that money to the CASA, so a local chapter of that, and that's the Court-Appointed Special Advocates. And those that aren't familiar with CASA, maybe one of you are not. It's a national association in the United States that supports and promotes court-appointed advocates for abused and neglected children. So it's a very, very good organization. I'm happy to see that they kind of switch up what organization they contribute their funding to each year. So we have a new cane on display now at the Welcome Center, so everybody needs to come out and see that. Once again, each wood carver carves a section of that cane, they assemble it, and then they sell raffle tickets. Those wood carvers join us every Wednesday from 10 till 12 on the back side of the Welcome Center. In the winter, we see that they move sometimes into the library because their group has kind of grown, and we're not always able to host that entire group inside our Welcome Center in the winter months. So, but if you or anyone you know likes to carve or is into carving, join the group. Bring your projects you're working on. It's open for anyone to join. There's members that are all age groups. This coming Wednesday, we've got one member having their 94th birthday. And so we're excited to offer some cake and items this coming up Wednesday. But please, if anybody you know likes to carve, wants to know about it, they're a great resource. They draw a lot of attention from local visitors and different community members. We have people that come in from other counties to carve with the group every Wednesday. So it's a great time had by everyone. Buildings, vehicles, grounds, cleaning, and maintenance. I always share with you information on our visitor services, like the number of visitors that we provide services to and all the phone calls. But I usually fail to show the entire picture of how incredible our team is. So our team isn't just providing information to those walk-in visitors. We have a 6-person part-time team that I manage, and this team, they do a little bit of everything. We don't have a professional janitorial cleaning crew, so they're picking up litter, they're cleaning for us, helping maintain our vehicles. They're watering those flower box planters, a lot of those up and down Broadway. So they're really helping to paint this big, pretty picture for everyone that visits our community. And I think that I fail sometimes to recognize all of the hard work that team does, from minor maintenance projects to cleaning our bathrooms, And so we've got a team that you can put at our front desk to greet people coming in the door, answer the phones, or a lot of them can fix your toilet. So we can go from one spectrum completely to the other and still look clean, professional, and provide services to this year so far. What did I say? Over 12,000 visitors. So, a project that the group is working on right now, some of our team members are working on a restaurant menu book. And so this is kind of exciting. We have folks ask us all the time, well, where would you eat? What's your favorite place to eat at? And we try to be fair. So we go, well, what do you like? What are you in the mood for? And well, I want this or that. And we'll say, well, I have a favorite of this at this restaurant or this at that. So we try to be fair. Sometimes that's not as easy to do when people have different requests, gluten-free or different nutrition or dietary requests. And so we're putting together a menu book that hopefully when that is complete, it'll be presented in a way that folks can just kind of flip through it and find exactly what they're looking for, and they can definitely make up their mind where they want to eat from that. In addition to that kind of project, our part-time team continues to provide support and services to a lot of our other full-time team members. So I know at the last meeting, I'm sorry I wasn't here for that, but we had Sierra that had received an award with all of her help with the Learn Shops. But all of this team, they're really able to carry on and provide us a lot of services. So we have people that specialize in videography, photography. We've got folks that are helping work with Ethan, maybe on the program with Andre. We've got a student that comes and works with us. And so this crew really, once again, I just want to brag on them and how good our part-time team really is to help and provide services for anything we need. If Donna needs some special projects completed, we're able to really just have a very fluid work atmosphere where we can just pick up and run with whatever needs to be done. So I'm just appreciative of them and happy that I get to be a part of such a good team. This team continues to visit local businesses throughout Berea. If we don't visit the businesses, we can't stay current on what they all have to offer. So we continue to get out and do that. And just kind of today we had the Birds Speak Cheesy had their ribbon cutting in the Old Town Artisan Village today. One of the commissioners had stated he drove through around 2 o'clock today and saw over 82 cars throughout the village. So that was so exciting. Yes. So we're excited to get out to all these new businesses, welcome them to our community, and just kind of really learn what they have to offer. And so that's just been very exciting. Lastly, on the report, you'll see that I attended quite a few different meetings, and you'll see some of the events maybe that I've assisted with, but I'll let you read through those. And I just thank you all for your time, and if you have any questions, I'd love to take those.
Thank you, Nancy. One of the things that our part-time staff that Nancy's worked well with has been our concerts as well, because our last year we as a team led those, but this year our part-time staff through Nancy's direction has stepped up, and they'll be hosting our live concerts at the pavilion as well. So it's come a long way around, so we're real pleased with all of them. thank you for everything you do for us.
Any other questions for Nancy? Thank you, Nancy. Okay, we will have Danny on media report.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, that is a really tough act to follow with these three. So I will do the best I can. So starting out, as always, we have our numbers for the past 3 months. And one thing that I want to point out is that the last time I spoke to you all, I told you that lower numbers were coming for August. And that's because we are running no paid advertising for August and the first part of September. But it's a good thing to see, because you can see in June, when our last paid ads started for both Facebook and Instagram, you can see how those numbers spike and then how they trail off. And then what you're going to see again in September and October is those numbers picking right back up. They're going to spike again, and you're going to see it trail off. Basically, it's charting, every single time we have paid advertising, we're getting these views. More people are seeing our page. So we really do have that to look forward to, because, as Donna mentioned, our digital ads start later this month, and those are going to lead us through fall and on into the holiday season. So we're really excited to see those come out. One thing that was kind of cool that I had thought some about, and Donna and I went back and forth on this, figuring out the best way to approach it. A lot of times in the past, we're already working on Christmas. So I've got lots of Christmas things to talk about. But when we're advertising Christmas, it's really easy to get lost in, shop here or buy this or, but we decided on an ad this time, and I believe this was the one for Ace magazine, that is about giving the gift of a small town adventure. So it's, sort of spinning the story. Instead of saying, give this beautiful vase, give this beautiful piece of pottery, we want them to do that, but we want them to give the gift of the adventure of coming here and experiencing it for themselves. So that's sort of where we're going with this. You'll see some of that in our marketing to come. I do want to go back and talk about Constant Contact for a second. We have had great success with Constant Contact with our newsletters. More and more people are actually opening and reading our newsletters. So far, for August, we were at a 49% open rate. That is absolutely unheard of. Just to give you an idea, I was speaking with one of my friends the other day who does a newsletter for the private sector, and his ultimate goal is to get to 10%. So a big part of that for us is being able to really refine these lists. So when we send these out, we can see bounce backs. So if an email address is not working, if someone has opted out, things like that, we can see all that. And what I've been working on lately is taking that list and actually deleting those out of the system. Because first of all, we pay for the number of people that's in that system. If they're not getting it, then we're paying for nothing. So if we can get them out of the system, that makes room for more people who will be looking at it and paying attention to what we're doing, clicking on the links, without us having to go up to the next pay scale for it. So I think that's where we see a lot of our jump from the 40% to the 49% is starting to eliminate those email addresses that are not actually receiving it properly. So pretty excited about that. We had 106 new subscribers in August. I know we've got several so far for this month. I don't have the final number on that yet. But going back to Christmas, because I love to talk about Christmas. So we've been working on the Christmas collateral, and as Donna mentioned, Christmas in the Village. I do want to reiterate that Christmas in the Village doesn't necessarily mean just Christmas in the Artisan Village. When we talked about this in our meeting and we started the planning, the idea was to turn the entire town into a life-size Christmas village. So that's really how we want to look at this and how we want to focus on this, because in a Christmas village, not everything looks the same. Part of the reason that people collect Christmas villages are because they can get these cute little unique pieces. They're all different, but they come together. So really, that's the focus for us. You know, we decorate our part, we get the message out there, and we hope that our businesses, our shop owners, our residents, our restaurant owners will take that initiative to jump in and, you know, do their own little section of the Christmas village, no matter what part of Berea they're in. So in your packet, you have some of the pieces that we're working on. You have the invitation that will go out to the business owners. Basically, we had a lot of people ask last year, we did this last year as well, asking what the theme was, what we're doing. So this is something that we're actually going to get out very quickly so people know what to expect and know what to plan for. So it's just an invitation to join us in this, you know, this decorating idea. But then we also have the Mayor's Merry Mingling, and we've got some new things planned for that this year. I won't get into it too much, but one of the things that we're looking at doing is how we can involve the children more. And so I'll have more details on this later, but sort of to Laura's point of using the hotel, we will be using part of the hotel to create a kids' Christmas art gallery. So children will be able to submit their art. We're going to work with the schools. We're going to just work with the community, have them submit Christmas art of any kind. It can be 2D, 3D, tiny, big, whatever they want to send in. And then we're also going to work with the schools to do Christmas ornaments. So we're going to just decorate the place up. And of course, you know, not only is that helping to, you know, support our students in the area, but all of a sudden those students are going to want to bring their families. And those families have extended families. And I know, at least from my experience, every time my daughter does anything, my in-laws are driving from 2.5 hours away. And they stay at Boone Tavern, and they go to the murder mysteries, and they make an experience of it while they're here. So for us, you know, not only is it supporting our community, but it's also reaching out by really getting those families to come in. So that's something I'm pretty excited that we are working on. So one thing that Liz and I had the opportunity to do at the end of last month was represent tourism at the KCCMA conference. That is the Kentucky County and City Managers Association. So that was a group of about 25 city managers, county managers, police chiefs, fire chiefs, city attorneys that all came together at Boone Tavern for a 2-day conference. And we were lucky enough to be able to spend time with them and to be able to really show them what Berea is. We were able to take them to Old Town. We had lunch with them at Apollo's. We walked them through some demonstrations. We took them to the Welcome Center and really gave them a feel for what we do as tourism, which was really exciting, you know, because a lot of times our audience, our target audience, is really based around, you know, just visitors coming in. You know, it's great if they tell their families, they tell their friends, and they bring people in. But we had this unique opportunity to reach out to leaders that can go back and they have voices in their communities. You know, strong voices where they can say, oh, this is where we went, this is what they're doing, and this is what we can learn from it. So that was a really great experience for us. I know Nancy already mentioned the fact that she had been working on the grant funding and the ARPA funding, which we absolutely could not do it without her working on that. I have now seen firsthand just what a daunting task that is. And since she has been so wonderful in helping us secure that money, I'm going to be wonderful in helping us spend it. So, all jokes aside though, we do have a portion of our ARPA money that is geared specifically toward marketing. So we are going to be looking at doing new photography and new videography, really updating all of what I refer to as like our stock images, you know, the best of the best images that we send out places. We're looking to update all of that. That will be in the coming months. The bluegrass region. So, sorry, I'm trying to go down my list and not dive off too far. We are part of the Bluegrass Regional Tourism, aside from just being Berea Tourism. And we have some really interesting opportunities there where the Bluegrass region markets itself as a whole. And one of the things is that they have their own website and their own social media that are currently being revamped and updated. That is something that we will have access to. So not only will we be posting our events and any special thing going on, we'll be posting that on ours, we'll be able to post it on the Bluegrass region as well. Now, as being part of the Bluegrass region, they have been working on a major project lately, and I wish I could show you pictures, but it hasn't launched yet. So some details of it have been kept quiet, but it is pretty exciting. A lot of the cities got together and put funding in for what they call the Joyride campaign. And the entire concept of the Joyride campaign is to ride the back roads of Kentucky and to see these small towns, and the fact that it's about the journey, not the destination. So this marketing, we'll all have a piece of it. So we will have pieces that are designated to Berea and to Lexington, and everyone will have their own separate pieces, but at the same time it's all going to flow together. So I have never seen done before, at least not to this scale. So I'm really excited to see what type of feedback we get from that, not only from our personal page and the posts that we make specifically for Berea, but for the region as a whole. So that's pretty exciting. Now, I know Nancy covered this a little bit too, with our part-time staff and being so wonderful to really help us out with things. I do have to take a moment and really thank Ted Kinson and Robert Elam. Without them, we would not have nearly as much media as we do. The videography and photography that they do for us, they are at every event, whether I ask them to or not. They're always sending me things. Hey, can you use this? Hey, can you use this? Where can I go? What can I do? They have been phenomenal in helping me with that, and I just want to take a moment to thank them publicly because they absolutely deserve it. So our annual goals. I do have to announce that I'm going to have to start setting bigger goals because we met my original goal of 1,000 new followers for the year. We met that at the end of August. So we actually, at the end of August, had 1,057 new followers. So I've now set my own stretch goal to get another 443, so we will hit a total of 15,000 followers on our Facebook page. We're still doing great in engagement with an engagement score of 6,986. So people are paying attention. They're not just looking at it and scrolling. They're liking, they're commenting, they're sharing, and that's really what we want to see. So that is pretty much all I have. I know I kind of jumped all over the place. Sorry for that. But if you have any questions, just let me know.
Any questions? That goal didn't seem so stretchy when you made it, though. It's a pretty big goal. If you go back a year ago, that was pretty ambitious.
1,000 felt like a lot,
Yeah.
Until about June, and by June I was like, I probably could have done more. So it'll be 2,000 next year.
Congratulations. Thank you, Danny. Yes.
I just wanted to say one more thing. Danny is so modest, and I know she talks about maybe her 40 to 49 is from deleting people. A lot of it is from her organic content, let's be real. So these posts that she puts out are so solid and so perfectly placed. And not only is the content so full, I meant to mention earlier, whenever Wendy King reached out, it's because she was seeing things on social media, not that were being marketed to her, not that were being sold to her, not on a billboard, not that paid advertising is extremely vital, of course, but Danny's organic marketing is where she read about the Learn Shops and looked up our phenomenal schedule for the Enchanted April and reached out. So it's not just about deleting people from your database. It's about that wonderful organic content that Danny is a natural at as well. So I had to say that. I know I'm not supposed to talk during this part, but thank you.
Thank you, Liz. We want all comments. Any other commissioner comments or questions or last minute pieces of business we forgot or?
Just one quick thing. I just want to say that the Christmas in the Village, the mayor's merry mingling, the design for all this looks amazing. So you just hit the nail on the head for the theme of that. So I just wanted to say how nice that looks.
The just being a male, going to I made a note myself. This chart here that has the female male ratio. We do something about that. You know, we need no more male orientated events, and we need to figure that out. Because that, to me, whereas that weakness seems like opportunity. You know, and that we need to attract that.
More restaurants, and that'll get them in.
More restaurants, and,
More bars.
yeah, and more outdoor events, and
As
But-
long as I've been tracking it, I have never seen more than 0.1% change month to month.
well, that needs to be your stretch challenge, is how to get more men here. You know, but anyway, any other comments or anything? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Second.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for all your efforts and time and for today. Appreciate it.